Today we're talking about gut and mood issues and gut and skin issues. Now this applies for adults as well, but this video is more dedicated to children because I see so many kids out in public with terrible skin. I mean, just yesterday I saw a young child, 2 or 3 years old, massive issues with skin. I mean, the entire face is covered in red, scaly, itchy looking bumps. The arms are covered. I mean, this kid was a mess. Fortunately, this is a girl that I've made friends with, and so I told her, look, I can help you with this. And we've got this kid on some supplements to help out his gut, his liver, and he's actually doing better now. He used to be bandaged up. His mom would send him to church bandaged up so that he couldn't scratch his face until he bleeds anymore. And obviously, those bandages are the equivalent of us trying to just treat things with band-aids, for example, using steroids or something. And that's not the answer. We really have to look deeper. So today we're going to talk about how does this go wrong, even from early childhood. Children make up about half my practice. I'm going to teach you about how does that go wrong early on, and then what can we do to fix it. We know that children that are born with C-section births, they have a less diverse microbiome. They're not getting exposed to the vaginal microbiome flora that normally they would get exposed to. So we know that C-section is going to set these kids up for greater risk of mood and skin issues as they develop because they simply just didn't get the good microbes. And this is not to say you've done wrong. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it's an emergency situation and it was just totally out of your control. But voluntarily, I would probably not go for that. And my wife, we've had 3 kids together, and we worked with a midwife who has seen incredible things, like even what's called a VBAC, which is a vaginal birth after C-section. So there are amazing things that can happen if you've been fear-mongered that this is the only option. Possible that it's not. So I'll leave that to the midwives to discuss that with you, but that's one way that this thing goes wrong. Number 2, ear infections that then lead to antibiotics. So a lot of kids, they're eating processed dairy, gluten, and other inflammatory foods. Now, I'm board certified in holistic nutrition. I'm also a functional nutritional therapy practitioner. I run an online functional medicine practice where I've helped thousands of clients, including so many children around the world. And this is one of the things I see that go wrong. It's children that are eating a terrible diet. They're eating macaroni and cheese as their favorite food and pizza rolls for dinner. They develop an ear infection. They get put on antibiotics that destroys the microbiome, affects the mitochondria, affects their energy, affects their mood, their sleep, and obviously their skin as well. So unless I'm dying, I'm not taking antibiotics. Number 3, general dysbiosis. So you could call this SIBO. We have seen what's called CFO. This is a small intestinal fungal overgrowth. So we can measure fungus and we can measure bacteria in the stool as well as the urine. So SIBO and CFO, but you could just classify this thing as dysbiosis. There's an imbalance in the microbiome, and it could have been from something upstream like these 2 issues here. So when we find dysbiosis, we can use specific natural herbs, natural antibiotics, natural antifungals to then help regulate these infections and overgrowth. And this dysbiosis will directly affect the skin and directly affect the mood. So I want you to know that if your child seems crazy, they seem like they're having outbursts, their emotional reaction to small situations seems exaggerated more than just them being a kid, it's likely that there could be something going on called PANDAS, P-A-N-D-S, like a panda bear, PANDAS. So this is pediatric acute neuropsychiatric disorder associated with strep. Now, PANDAS is very common but under-recognized. It's basically a strep infection where the body accidentally targets the brain. That's the most simple breakdown of PANDAS. And so the immune system is now targeting the brain. We can actually measure antibodies towards the brain using a company called Cyrex. This is an advanced lab. It's quite expensive. It's not mandatory that you do this. Often if we just fix the infection, we'll see things calm down with the mood and we'll see stabilization of the mood. But if your kid just seems totally emotionally dysregulated and they also have skin issues, it could be related to PANDAS. And we've seen this so many times, and many parents miss this, but this is an easy clue. It's called perianal strep. It looks like a red ring around the anus of your child. So if they're complaining about their butt itching, or it's burning, or it just seems irritated, you're needing to put diaper cream or wipes on it. This can affect even young children, 18 months or older. You'll see a red ring around the anus. This is perianal strep. That's another clue that the strep bacteria has become overgrown and could potentially be causing brain autoimmunity, leading to massive mood issues. So this is a huge problem. This is probably half of the kids I see clinically that have PANDAS. Now you can also have PANS, which we can save for another video. So PANS, P-A-N-S, that's just a more general autoimmune condition of the brain that could be caused from mold toxicity, which we're going to talk about in a second. It could be caused from other dysbiotic flora. It could be caused from viruses, for example. And this can be fixed as well. It's just a different approach, different protocol. So number 4, the number 4 big cause of the gut issues, the mood issues, the skin issues, toxicity. We know that even just parts per billion, okay, ppb, parts per billion of glyphosate, which is an herbicide that we spray hundreds of millions of pounds on the United States soil every year. Parts per billion of that chemical can damage the sensitive, delicate, beautiful, amazing microbiome of adults as well as children. So if these kids are eating conventional Cheerios, which have massive amounts of glyphosate or other grains that have been contaminated and sprayed, or you're sending them off to school thinking you're doing so good, packing them healthy fruit in their lunch, and you're sending them to school with non-organic, what would be called conventional, aka chemical strawberries, which could have up to 20 plus different chemicals in them, that's damaging their delicate gut microbiome, which could potentially lead to this cascade of effects where the good bacteria are killed by the chemicals. After the bacteria get killed off, the bad guys move in. They create toxins, which affects and inflames the brain, therefore damaging the immune system. It turns into this huge mess. Now you have a child with skin issues, mood issues, sleep issues, and you don't know what to do. So the parents put them on Vyvanse to help them focus in school. They put them on steroid cream to help their skin. They put them on antipsychotic medication. I've seen it in kids that are 6 years old. It terrifies me, makes me sick. We can fix these things with functional medicine testing. I can help you. I'd love to have the opportunity to help you either through my Functional Academy of Medicine and Epigenetics. That's my online functional medicine training academy where you can learn exact protocols, and I show you before and after test results of what I've actually done to fix these kids. You can see it for your own eyes. Even the skeptical husbands, they can watch these videos in the courses and they can see how we fix these children and turn the lives of their parents around, because now their parents aren't losing their mind and seeking out alcohol or drugs to numb themselves to the misery of parenting these crazy kids. Or one-on-one consultations are always available at my site, evanbrand.com. If you want more root cause answers, you want to find the truth about your health and how to fix it, maybe this is the right channel for you to subscribe to. Look forward to seeing you soon.